off the aircon. This is my fresh kit, like I don't want to get it sweaty so I have to wash it for the next game. Okay. Oh.
Izzy, Pakistan game was obviously difficult for you guys. What did you do yesterday and how did you approach this game?
We had obviously meetings yesterday. We spoke about what went well and what didn't go well. It's been a good summer for us. The second half of the summer, so the team gets on very well obviously then, and you're really tested when things aren't going as well, and the team really pulled together. So we looked at India, we tried to put Pakistan behind us, learn from our mistakes, and just try and go better each game. A World Cup is tough for us. We don't play the high class sides as often as they play each other, so it's a very tough learning curve, and trying to put into place small changes 2 days after a loss like that is difficult, but I think we did a good job today.
The first time you guys played against India, what was the experience like?
Today? Well, we've played against them before, but we just haven't played them in T20s yet. So it's daunting, you know, especially seeing how they went up against New Zealand, who hammered us earlier in the summer. So it's one of those things you have to try and put that out of your mind, but it kind of creeps back in. We've been working with a sports psych. She was here with us for the first half of the tournament, and she was brilliant. So we've been putting into place some kind of mental, I suppose, cues so that we can get past that. And I think what you saw out there today was a team that weren't afraid and were kind of relishing the chance to bowl at some players like Raj and Kaur.
With the openers getting a good start, it looked like India would have set for a big score, but you guys managed to pull it back at the back end. At what point did you guys think that you lost the match?
140 plus is going to be too much for us probably at the moment to get with the bat. We have consistently made 90 to 100 at this level. We obviously are aiming higher, but probably 120s it would have been reachable for us, I think, if we're realistic. Now, we obviously thought we'll go out and we'll try and win. But once they got that total, I think it was always going to be tough. I think that our batting, we can't formulate plans on the ground. We have to be playing these people more often. If you look at the players like at the top Indian players, they play against top bowlers all the time. They have a plan against Elise Perry, against all the top bowlers, because they've played them a number of times each year. That's the first time I've played against any of those bowlers in a couple of years. So I'm trying to think on my feet, and suddenly it's 4 or 5 balls in to a spell, and then a new bowler comes on. So that's really where the difficulty personally lies. It's not the nerves. I can look at as much footage as I want, but actually immediately doing that out in the middle against a bowler I haven't faced, or a type of bowler I haven't faced in a long time, is really, really tough.
And you mentioned this is a new experience for it. What are some of the positives that your side would take from facing a top side like India?
It's not a new experience for me. It's we've done it every 2 years, but every 2 years is too little. So you really build up to these kind of tournaments, and it's the occasion. And I don't think the occasion gets to us, but this is just another day for the Indian girls. It's a huge occasion for us, and that's not where we want to be. We want to be a team that are used to playing these kind of games day in, day out. We want to become a professional side, and I think that you can see that the foundations are there for if we were a professional side, if we had that kind of backing, if we had players going to overseas competitions, if an IPL starts up or something like that, the girls are ready to really go all in. And I personally have to get up and go do the gym at 6 a.m, then go do a full day's work, and then find time to do my cricket skills during the winter, and then during the summer I'm a full-time coach and personal trainer. So it's very difficult to find the time to get your skills up to scratch like the girls we're playing against.
With the World Cup hopes pretty much done and dusted for Ireland, what's next?
Well, we've got New Zealand, so a good performance against them would be great. I always say to the girls, let's just try and win every ball. So the more balls we can win, the more that stands to us as we go forward. I really do think that we're getting a lot of traction behind us. A lot of the cricket community are coming behind us and think that we're worth investing in. So I'm hoping that doesn't just die away when the World Cup ends, that we still have people talking about us and people backing our skills, and that there's a few of us that are at the wrong end of our careers, but there's actually a huge amount of talent coming through. So if those girls can see that there's somewhere to go with cricket, then they'll really stick with it, because there's actually so many good sports in Ireland. We need to hold on to our players. We don't want to lose them to the Irish games like camogie or Gaelic football, which are amateur but basically professional. And then the hockey team, obviously getting silver in the World Cup, they're going to take half the girls in the country, so we need to get the other half.
Is there any team in particular that you would fancy to win the tournament?
Who I want to win or who I think will win? I think I'd love India to win. I think it'd be brilliant for women's cricket. I like the way they go about things. They're a really up and coming side. And who I think will win, possibly Australia.
You mentioned a sports psychologist with the team. What's changed since she's come in?
I think just the people thinking about how they think about things. The cricket's such a mental game. You have to have control of the mental side. And speaking as someone who's struggled with their bowling a couple of times in the last few years, the mental side of it's all I'm struggling with. And once I can put into place some things to negate that, that has really helped me. The other side of things is dealing with things like these losses. The girls have been really upset, obviously, because we want to do well and we put a lot of work into it, but we're bouncing back quicker than we probably would have in the past. That's two of many numbers of things. She just goes around quietly and does her stuff, and she also then gives us team talks and things like that when we're back home, and talks about the mindsets we should be having. She talks about standards and cultures in the team, bad habits the team don't even know that they have. And we kind of fight against it a little bit, but then we see that the results come through quite quickly. So the girls have responded really, really well to her. I think the boys' side have as well. She's working across both teams, and I think that she'll be really instrumental in helping us keep moving up.
How does a team like Ireland, who doesn't play as much as the other teams, build a team culture? And if you have identified, what is this Irish team culture?
Most of the girls live near each other. We play in the same league. We see each other all the time. So that's one of the ways we do it. So we would gym together twice a week and then train together a lot, and we play against each other all the time. So if anyone on the other team bowls like me, then we're sorted. Or if they bowl like Lucy, or because we face each other all the time. It's when we face different types of bowlers that we run into problems a little bit. But yeah, we have a great team culture, I think. When you're losing, things start slipping, and that's when the culture comes in, and you notice things going awry. So that's the next kind of part we need to work on. We're fine when things are good or beforehand, and it's probably after the game today we'll have to have a think and make sure that things are still in place for Saturday.
And for a team like Ireland, how important is the recent ICC decision to award all T20 matches international status? How much of a difference does it make to know that the match that you're playing in your country's colours is actually counted as an international?
It's massive. I mean, we've been in the top 10 for the last number of years, so our games against the top nations have counted, but we don't play them very much, so they wouldn't have counted as internationals, as you mentioned. So it's nice, and it really was lovely to see how much it meant to the teams that were playing in the qualifier in the Netherlands. A lot of those teams had a huge cheers for when they got on the pitch. It was a massive occasion, and I don't know why you wouldn't want that. It's only going to be good for cricket. Keeping that kind of thing to a small number of countries makes no sense to me. So I think Papua New Guinea had special caps for their first T20I game that they went and wore in the field that first day, baggy red and black ones, and that was a really nice touch. So all those little things make a massive difference, and they just don't cost us anything. So I think it was an easy decision for them to make, but I'm glad they made it.
You'd like to see that in the ODIs as well?
Yeah.
And just trying to find out more about the players off the field. Can you tell us why you've chosen the particular shirt number that you have?
I got an email a number of years ago saying you need a shirt number, and myself and my twin sister were together, and we said, 33 and 44 sounds nice. It looks kind of good, so let's go for that. I quite like that it's a popular number around the world. You can normally find someone on each of the teams in Big Bash or IPL that has the same number as me, so I normally go for that person. But yeah, there's nothing much behind it, but I have stuck to it since, and it was my number in the Big Bash as well.
Question. Thank you. From a temperate country, not an island, and coming to tropical Guyana, close to the equator, the conditions, I'm sure, is very difficult sometimes for you to adjust the heat and everything else. How was it for your team in this tournament?
Yeah, it is very difficult for us. We went away to La Manga to train for a weekend. That's in Spain. A few weeks before coming away, that was to train in hot weather. So it wasn't as hot as this, but it was better than basically winter in Ireland. So we did that, and then we came out earlier and we tried to train pretty hard in the week leading up to the tournament to get used to the conditions. But we monitor our hydration a lot. Our S&C coach is very, very tough with everyone about staying hydrated, and the number 12, 13, 14th and 15th have been unbelievable with making sure that everyone's doing okay, that we're getting our liquids on board and all that kind of stuff. But it just comes with experience, I guess. You probably can guess by the age or the experience who's going to be struggling out there and who's not. So the girls who are here will probably be fine next time we play in these conditions, and then the new people who come in will struggle, and so on. So we just need it to be happening more often, so it doesn't really become a factor for us going forward.
So you're actually saying that it's been tough for your team during this tournament in terms of recovery?
A little bit, but I think we've dealt with it well. We've thought about it, we've put things in place, but it's always going to be more difficult for us. We did have a hot summer this year and played against Bangladesh and New Zealand. It was really, really dry for months, and it was about 30 degrees most of the time. The difficulty for us is the humidity. The humidity is the thing that we struggle with the most. We don't really have that at home, so all you can do is try and get used to it and do the best you can.
What about the size of the boundaries here in Guyana, the Providence? I'm sure that you don't have as big rung as this in Northern Ireland.
Sorry,
the boundary markers.
That we don't have them this big, or we do?
Is this as big as your place, or this is bigger?
I'd say that's pretty similar to what we've been playing on. Yeah. So the outfield's a lot slower. Is the big difference. Our outfields at home are extremely quick. The grass is very short, so you don't get as much bang for your buck when you're hitting the ball.
How would you rate this pitch?
Oh, I think it's very good. It was turning a lot today, but I think they did a great job considering how much moisture was fell. It was always going to be that kind of pitch considering the amount of water that was around. So I thought it played pretty well. One of the other days it was a little bit dead, but today it was pretty good.
The next game is going to be the last one for a couple of your players. What is it going to mean to the team to want to send them off and go away?
I think we'll try not to think about it too much. It's going to be a big celebration afterwards, a celebration of their careers and how much they've given. But I think we will be focused on. We want to send them off on a high, but we don't want to think about that while we're playing. It's going to be a big loss to the team. 2 huge characters and 2 big contributors with the ball and the bat. So, we'll just do our best to do them proud and send them off in good fashion.
Smriti Mandana, good afternoon to you. Welcome to our press booth. You've been one of the young, exciting players of Indian and world cricket. You've scored hundreds before, and a lot of responsibility to you. How you find yourself coming out here and opening the batting at the Providence Stadium?
Well, it's quite exciting playing in this World Cup, and I was looking forward to the first match before New Zealand. Opening in the World Cup, that's always a dream for a player. And first two matches didn't go the way I thought it would. And today I was timing the ball well, but unfortunately got out. So not really capitalized the starts which I have got. Definitely I'll be working on that in the next match.
I noticed most of the matches you try to play the ball along the ground. With the first 6 overs power play, you've got to strengthen the stroke play. Why don't go over the top?
Today? Did
yeah.
I go on?
No, I missed the first part today. So I mean the other matches, it was coming on nicely onto the bat.
Well, in the first match I got out pulled in the air to deep mid wicket. So that was a lofted shot. Last match we were just chasing 120 and Sir just wanted me to just take some time and bat because I was going all out from the ball one and these are different kind of wickets. So he just told me to take some time for last match. And today I don't think so. That was the mindset. I was going playing according to the merit of the ball. When I felt it has to be lofted, I lofted it today.
Can I ask for you to comment on the state of Mithili Raj injury?
Injury, I'm not sure. I'll have to speak with the physio yet.
What is your assessment of the pitch today? It seemed to be gripping a little in the morning.
Yeah, I think it rained quite a bit yesterday and even today morning. So it was a bit damp first 2-3 overs, but it wasn't that you were not able to play your shots. If you took your time and saw the ball, I think it was a wicket where you can play your shots.
The Ireland players have received a lot of support from the cricketing world for the performance they've put in, considering they're probably one of the last teams to go professional. So what's your assessment of their showing in the tournament so far?
Yes, I think they have been good. Some of their players also play for Big Bash, and that's really a good experience to be in. And yeah, today also they were really good with the ball. So yeah, I think the time I saw them last time, there have been a lot of improvement in them as a players, and they are a lot improved side from what I saw them last time.
And considering the slightly slow outfield and sticky wicket, do you think 142 was a par score, or were you expecting a little more?
Well, definitely we're looking at 165 to 170. I didn't think that 140 was good enough. Because in T20s, you can't keep thinking about wicket and outfield because it's such a fast game and we have 10 wickets to, play. So I think we were aiming at 165 to 170, but unfortunately we could not do that.
You and Mithili have the most successful partnerships for India with 2 centuries and 5 half centuries in T20 format. What are your thoughts on batting with Mithili? Is she like a mentor to you?
Well, it's fun batting with her, but I think both have different mindsets to go about their game, and we just discuss about the wicket and the bowlers, and we just give enough freedom to play each other like whatever game they have, and that's it.
Prior to this match, you had mentioned that your form, you didn't manage to get a lot of runs, but now you spent some time at the wicket, and the entire top 4 of India has found some form heading into the semi-finals. Do you see this as a potential warning to the other teams that India is in form and we're going to blow it away?
Well, I think the first match was enough warning for everyone, and everyone's been in good form last 7-8 months. So coming into the World Cup, we all were really confident as a batting unit. So yeah, I think if our top 4, bat through the 20 overs, I think we'll always be putting a good total up.
You guys are now in the semi-final and the last game is against Australia. So what will the mindset be of the team going into play a team that's been so dominant?
Well, I think we will be looking at it as a match only and not just like we need to be at the top of the table of this group. That's what our mindset will be. And to go all out, we before coming into the World Cup, Ramesh sir told us that you have to dominate each and every match. So that is the only mindset which we had last 3 matches. And I don't think it will change in the next match. the only mindset we'll be having is, dominant and be aggressive, be yourself. That's it.
And in terms of being able to dominate an opposition, how much does a team take away from a side like Australia that have sort of set the bar with that sort of mindset?
Well, I think Ramesh sir has told us, talked us through this, that it's not always you should be thinking about the opposition is dominating, is aggressive. That really, keeps us under pressure. We have to think that we are dominative and we are aggressive enough to defeat them. That is only the mindset which we have, because I don't think it is it's going to help us thinking about what they do, how they dominate or how they play their cricket, because at the end we have to go out there, bat and bowl and field.
So would you say that today's performance was dominant?
Well, first 2 matches I definitely felt we were good, but today I felt batting could have been better. But in bowling and fielding, I think we are really good and we dominated the opposition.
6 months ago with the Asia Cup, a lot of people said that India might not make the semi-finals. Now, making the semi-finals, how much does that mean to the team?
Well, it means a lot, because after the Asia Cup final, a lot of things happened back home. Everyone had actually thought that we won't even make it to the semi-finals because we did not win Asia Cup. So, but I guess everyone was more determined after the Asia Cup that this is the time where everyone will be watching and we have to prove our point, because once 2017 we qualified for the final, but only it cannot happen just once. We are such a good team that we have such good youngsters that we need to step up our game every match. And this World Cup was, we all were really determined to go to the semi-finals, and all 15 of us actually went back after Asia Cup, worked hard on whatever they felt we lacked in the team, and Ramesh sir has also been brilliant last 3 to 4 months.
Arundhati Reddy, your fast bowler in the first 2 games, and now you bring the experience. Josh, is it she injured at all?
Sorry, I didn't get it.
Reddy, is she fit to
Reddy?
play? Yeah.
No, I think we just gave her a rest for today's match, and we just wanted to see how Mansi bowls, and that's it. I don't think there's anything to worry about.
Okay, that's all. That's my interest, because you see there was a change in the lineup, right, to bring in the experience. So it worked well for the team.
Sorry?
It worked well for the team.
Yeah, it did work well for the team.
That's correct.